Name that quote. The only regret I will have in dying is if it is not for love. Welcome, fellow bookworms, to Tibra's Den. My name is Whitney, and today I have another little thrift haul for you guys. And I also have just a weekly update, what I've been reading this past week and what I plan to read the weeks to come. I am going to try to get on at least a once a week schedule, so Mondays I will do, just an update as far as what I'm reading. Kind of did that in October. I did like daily updates and then I released them every week, which I really kind of enjoyed. So I'm going to try to stick to that and get a little bit more consistent, especially since I'm doing the quotes at the beginning of the video. And that way you guys will have a little bit more consistency there. And then any other videos will just be bonus videos that come up. So if you don't know about the quotes yet, if you haven't seen my last two videos, which was my October wrap up and my November TBR, I'm doing a quote at the beginning of the video, and all you guys need to do is head down to the comments, guess the book and the author, and then if you want a little bonus point, you can guess the character that said it, if there is a character. Now the points don't matter. It's just for fun. But if you just want to say you knew the character too, definitely drop them down in the comments as well. If you need a little bit more help, there is a pin comment, and in the reply section, you'll find 4 hints. And it has something to do with the book I'm talking about in the video. Now, I will be talking about the book from last week in this video. It's one of the ones I read, so I will give you the answer to last week's quote when I get to that book. If you don't want to be spoiled, go check out November's TBR and guess the quote, and then you can come back to this one and get the answer. But first, we're going to start with my thrift haul. So my husband ended up getting a little gift card from work for kind of going above and beyond to help a customer. And so he spent part of it and then he gave the rest to me to spend, which was so nice of him. And after October, like the end of October, I read Scythe by Neal Shusterman, and I ended up loving this book. I was not expecting to love it as much as I did, and I need more of this. So I knew I wanted to get the next two in that series. So I went on Thrift Books, and a little bit frustrated because Thrift Book is hit and miss. Like they tell you the condition the book's in, but it is hit and miss. Like sometimes they tell you it's in condition, a certain condition, and you get it, and it's clearly not. Which is the case with the second book in the series, which is Thunderhead. So all these books I got very good or like new. And this one, I mean, there's a lot of wear on the edges, which is fine. I would still consider that in good condition regardless. But it is annotated heavily and sloppily, which, like, the tabs and such I don't mind. It's kind of the sloppy nature of the annotations that's kind of frustrating me. And so, like, you can have that, which this one isn't too bad, but there's some where the lines literally go through the words, which that is not okay to me. Like this one, it goes right through the words. So that is a little bit frustrating. I would consider this acceptable, not very good because of the annotations and how they were done. But I at least still have it to read. So I'm happy with that. So that's Thunderhead. And then the next one's in really good condition, actually. And that is The Toll. So this one is nice. I mean, a little bit of bending on the edges, but that is nothing too bad. It's clean, and it's just in good shape. So I'm really excited to have these two so I can continue the series. Probably won't be able to get to them until the new year though, because I have several books I'm reading this month, and then my December is already set, and yeah, I just won't be able to squeeze them in December. And then I also obviously just needed to use up the gift card, and I had found one of the Heartland books by Lauren Brooke. I found one of the special editions at the thrift store in one of my recent hauls. I had the whole complete main series, and there's 5 special editions. So I found that one, so I decided to look for the others. And the first one is Beyond the Horizon. This is a spring break special. So I got this one. And then I got A Holiday Memory, which the other one I found is also like a holiday book as well. So I got this one, and this one is really good. It has a postcard, which is still intact, which is cool. So really excited to have those. So I only need two more. They do have the other one, which is A Summer to Remember. I'll insert a picture. That one is about, it was $11, now it's $13. I'll definitely try to get that one on my next haul. The other one is Amy's Journal, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get that one. It is really hard to get a hold of. I did find it on eBay, but they were asking like 200 bucks for it. And I'm like, 200 bucks for a book like this? Like, I get it's rare, it's hard to find, but seriously, I really wish people wouldn't do that. Like, it's just, I think it's extortion. But so yeah, I won't be able to get Amy's Journal probably ever, but I will definitely keep an eye out for it, and I will get the other one, A Summer to Remember, when I am able to. So the other two books I have coming, they're supposed to be here today. They should have been here with the other ones last week, but they, for some reason, they went from my distribution center like 7 hours north to a distribution center up there, and then hit two other distribution centers on the way back to my distribution center. So I'm like, really? That was like completely unnecessary, but okay, I don't pretend to know how the postal service works, but they are out for delivery, so they will be here today. The first one is Dear America, Christmas After All, The Great Depression Diary of Minnie Swift. So I'm collecting the Dear America books, and I needed a few more books to fill out my Christmas plans. And so I saw that one and I got that. There is another Dear America Christmas book. I forget what it's called, but I'll insert a picture. And so this one just popped up first. And so I got that. And that kind of finished off the gift card. So there was no more to spend anyway. That one's on its way. And then I had a free credit, and on an old gift card I had like just enough for the shipping. And so I got Snow Child by Eowyn Ivy. And this is based on a folklore. I want to say Russian, but I'm not entirely sure on that. And I remember hearing the story. I listened to the Myths and Legend podcast, which information will be linked below. It helps me go to sleep. And I remember hearing the story about this couple who can have kids, and they built a snow child and it came to life. And that's what the book is about. So I'm really excited to have that one, and it should be here today as well. And then the other books I got, we had to go into town, or I had to go into town, and my service dog goes with me. And so I stopped at two of the thrift stores in town. One is the little church thrift store where I have found amazing books for super cheap. And so I went there, I spent $3 there. And then the other one is like this bigger thrift store. And their books, I got four books, one of which is newer and like $30 if I had bought it. Like, I've been eyeballing it. And I got four books for 95 cents. I'm not entirely sure of the breakdown, but 95 cents for all four books, one of which I would have paid $30 if I had bought it in stores. So that is a great deal. We'll start with the little church thrift store. So I spent $3 on all these books. Their paperbacks are 50 cents. Their hardcovers are normally $1. I think because the hardcovers I got were children's book, I think those were 50 cents as well. And then the other children's books are 25 cents. So I got four of the children's books, so that's $1. And then, like I said, two paperbacks $1, and two of the children's hardbacks, which were also $1. The first, I got one that I had as a child. So not a very exciting book, but it's The Jacket I Wear in the Snow by Shirley Nitzel and Nancy Winslow Parker. And this is just so cute. So it's a little picture book. And it just talks about snow clothing. But it was nostalgic, so I decided to go ahead and pick that one up. And then of course I love Clifford the Big Red Dog, and so I saw this one. I was looking for other Cliffords. This is the only one they had, but I got this. This is by Norman Bridwell. And so now I have this one and Clifford's First Valentine's. So yeah, I'm gonna be kind of building up my Clifford collection as well. And then this one is just, I didn't want kind of an odd number. I wanted like even dollar amounts. So I got Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This is Favorite Fairy Tales. I do need to clean it up. There's the sticker and then a little bit of writing there. And this one is, it was adapted by Jane Gerard. So, happy to have that one. I do like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And then the other one I got in the children's section is Heidi by Johanna Spyri. So this is a classic. I never read it. I am familiar with it, but I never read it, and so I'm excited to have this. So yeah, 5-year-old Heidi goes to live with her grandfather in his lonely hut high in the Alps. She quickly learns to love her new life with him, but her strict aunt decides that Heidi must be sent away again to live in town. Heidi cannot bear being away from the mountains and is determined to return to the happiness of life with her grandfather. So I'm really excited to actually read this since I never have. So that was 25 cents. And then the other two, like I said, normally hardbacks are $1, but since they were children's book, I got them for 50 cents. The Mysterious Benedict Society, Mr. Benedict's book of perplexing puzzles, elusive enigmas, and curious conundrums. So I have not read the Mysterious Benedict Society. I have the second one, I believe, in the series on my shelf. I picked it up at a thrift store and thought it sounded interesting. So when I saw this, I thought, I'm planning on reading those at some point. So yes, and just looking at the inside kind of sold me. It looks like so much fun. And so A is for Apple, and just other just colorful, bright pictures and puzzles and such. So got that one. This one I never heard of, but it sounds right up my alley. It's The One and Only Ivan. This is by Kathryn Applegate. The Benedict Society books are by Trent and Lee Stewart. And so, yeah, this one I saw and I was like, yes, sold. So, Ivan is an easygoing gorilla living at the Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade. He has grown accustomed to humans watching him through the glass walls of his domain. He rarely misses his life in the jungle. In fact, he hardly ever thinks about it at all. Instead, Ivan thinks about TV shows he's seen and about his friends Stella, an elderly elephant, and Bob, a stray dog. But mostly, Ivan thinks about art and how to capture the taste of a mango or the sound of leaves with color and a well-placed line. Then he meets Ruby, a baby elephant taken from her family, and she makes Ivan see their home and his own art through new eyes. When Ruby arrives, change comes with her, and it's up to Ivan to make it a change for the better. So, really excited to have this one and give it a go. Like I said, I'm 99.9% sure I'm going to absolutely love that. Then the last two books I got from that thrift store are more for my Irish Johansson collection. I cannot talk today. I'm way too excited. And so now I'm done with my Nora Roberts collection. This is the next author I'm trying to collect all her works. And so I got Final Target and Lion's Bride, which the sequel to this one is The Treasure, which I do have. I don't think I've actually read it though, so this was really good to find. In this one, you have the darkly handsome warrior found her in the hot desert night, the last survivor of a caravan devastated by a brutal attack. But Thea could hardly have found a less likely savior. Brooding, powerful, boldly erotic, the infamous Lord Ware felt no need to rescue powerful, boldly erotic. The famous Lord Ware felt no need to rescue a total stranger, but Thea's striking beauty and fighting spirit moved him. So the knight in tarnished armor carried her away to a secret stronghold at Dundragon, where she would become his prisoner, his tormentor, his lover, and the one weapon his deadly enemy could use to destroy him. So I'm excited to have this, and then I can read this one, and then The Treasure. And then the other one, you have Melissa Riley arrives at her sister's isolated Virginia country home to find herself plunged into a deadly drama. There, the renowned Dr. Jessica Riley is attempting to draw the daughter of the President of the United States out of a severe catatonic trauma. The last thing young Cassie Andreas saw was an organized team ruthlessly murder her nanny and the Secret Service agents sworn to protect her. But to free Cassie, Melissa and Jessica must trust a mysterious, charismatic man. Michael Travis made his fortune in the international underworld. He risked everything to save Cassie during that terrible night of bloodshed, and he has entered into a secret bargain with the president. But is his show of concern all a treacherous charade? Melissa and Jessica have no choice but to accept Travis as their ally and to follow a dangerous plan that will lead them into the world of a killer who will destroy anyone standing between him and the final target. So I'm excited to have that one in my collection as well. So that was all from the church thrift store, which, like I said, was $3. And then these next four were 95 cents altogether. Like I said, I'm not sure the breakdown, they didn't have the prices listed, but that is amazing. So the first one is Love in the Time of Cholera by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I've heard of this, I've never read it, so I'm excited to do so. And this one, it says, in their youth, Florentino Ariza and Fermina Daza fall passionately in love. When Fermina eventually chooses to marry a wealthy, well-born doctor, Florentino is devastated, but he is a romantic. As he rises in his business career, he whiles away the years in 1622 with affairs, yet he reserves his heart for Fermina. Her husband dies at last, and Florentino purposefully attends the funeral. 51 years, 9 months, and 4 days after he first declared his love for Fermina, he will do so again. So, got that one. The next one I got because B at Mama Needs to Read Romance always talks about this author, and so I saw this. It is the third one in a series, the Friday Harbor series, I guess. So I'll definitely have to keep an eye out for the others. But it sounded right up my alley. It's called Dream Lake, and this is by Lisa Kleypas. And it says Alex Nolan is as bitter and cynical as they come. One of the three Nolan brothers who call Friday Harbor home, he's nothing like Sam or Mark. They actually believe in love. They think the risk of pain is worth the chance of happiness. But Alex battles his demons with the help of a whiskey bottle, and he lives in his own private hell. And then a ghost shows up. Only Alex can see him. Has Alex finally crossed over the threshold to insanity? Zoe Hoffman is as gentle and romantic as they come. When she meets the startlingly gorgeous Alex Nolan, all her instincts tell her to run. Even Alex tells her to run. But something in him calls to Zoe, and she forces him to take a look at his life with a clear eye and to open his mind to the possibility that love isn't for the foolish. The ghost that has been existing in the half light of this world for decades. He doesn't know who he is or why he is stuck in the Nolan's Victorian house. All he knows is that he loved a girl once, and Alex and Zoe hold the key to unlocking a mystery that keeps him trapped here. Zoe and Alex are oil and water, fire and ice, sunshine and shadow, but sometimes it takes only a glimmer of light to chase away the dark, and sometimes love can reach beyond time, space, and reason to take hold of hearts that yearn for it. So I always like a troubled bad boy, and this just sounds like a good time. I like brother aspect, any type of like family aspect in romance books I really enjoy. So I'm excited to have that one as well. This next one is one that's like $30 if you get it in store. And this one, I'm not a big James Patterson fan. Like, I didn't know a lot about him. Like, I read a couple of his books, but I didn't know a lot about him until joining the booktube community and learning that other authors kind of write the books and use his name, which is why I think he's so hit and miss, because it's the other authors that you're really reading. And so yeah, that one, and just the mass amount of books. But this is Dolly Parton, and I do love Dolly Parton, and so I've been eyeballing this one in the store, and it's Run Rose Run. There is a CD album that goes along with this, that I don't have. I might try to get. We'll kind of see. And so yeah, I'm excited to pick this one up for, like I said, something less than 95 cents. So it says, every song tells a story. She's a star on the rise, singing about the hard life behind her. She's also on the run. Find a future, lose a past. Nashville is where she's come to claim her destiny. It's also where the darkness she's fled might find her and destroy her. Run, Rose, Run is a novel glittering with danger and desire. A story that only America's number one beloved entertainer and its number one best-selling author could have created. So, yeah, really excited to give this one a try. Like I said, not a big fan of James Patterson. I think it's kind of the mass amount of books he does and the way he does it is just kind of cringy to me. But I do like Dolly Parton, so we're gonna give that a try. And then the other one I actually got for my husband. He loves that show. I think it's Ancient Aliens. He loves watching that show, and I saw this one and it made me think of that show, and I had to pick it up. So it's the serious mystery, new scientific evidence of alien contact 5,000 years ago by Robert Temple. And so I'm really excited to have this for him, and we'll see if he likes it. He kind of skimmed it, and he said the author is a bit long-winded. um, but I think once he gets into it, it should be kind of interesting, and it has pictures. That's always nice. So this is not for me. It's not something that I'm all that intrigued by, but he really likes that show, and so I thought it would be a fun one for him. So that is the haul. Now let's go ahead and go into my reads. So the first one I've already returned to the library, and it is the book that the quote was from. And so the quote was, "I stopped myself from apologizing because what would I even be sorry for? Existing too loud." And that book is from the book Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Yemade. And the character that said it was Devon, so, or Devon, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but yeah, that was the quote. And so this one, I don't know. I was excited for it. I should have known I wouldn't enjoy it all that much since it was kind of compared to Gossip Girl, and yeah, it's very similar in vibes to Gossip Girl and Pretty Little Liars, which neither one were shows that I was able to get into. I tried because I like the idea of them, and I really tried, but all the unnecessary drama and just how superficial they are was in the book too. Like it had that feel, it had that vibe, which is a shame because I think it had a lot of good social commentary on what black students are faced with, and as far as the LGBTQ plus community and what they're faced with, especially a black student that's part of the community. And I think the that social commentary got a little bit lost because of how superficial the nature of the book was. I get it was inspired by Gossip Girl and Pretty Little Liars, like it's mentioned, I think in the author's note and such. So I get that was the inspiration, but I just wish it hadn't been. And the whole conspiracy theory thing, it was both you had to suspend belief a little bit, but it was also very realistic in a sense too. Though I don't think it was necessarily as overt as it was in the book. Like I said, I think that came from wanting to amp up the drama and just kind of be very superficial in nature. So, but overall, it was pretty good. So you have Chiamaka and Devon or Devon, and they I originally thought it was in England, but it's actually in America. They go to this private school and they are um become school prefects in their senior year. Chiamaka becomes head prefect. And then things start like an you know, aces, um, which again you have kind of Gossip Girl and Pretty Little Liars. They start the school starts getting these text messages, and it's revealing secrets about Chiamaka and uh Devon. So yeah, and then things just kind of unravel from there. But yeah, it was like I said, I think there was a level of it being very superficial that just kind of took away from the other points that were really good. So, not my favorite. I'm glad I checked it out from the library and did not buy it. I actually ended up removing it from my wish list because I'm like, okay, I know that's not a book for me. I'm not gonna reread it just because, like I said, the vibes, the Gossip Girl, Pretty Little Liar vibes. I never was able to get into the show. It's just not for me. So there was that one, and then I've listened to about half of Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton. I have that on audiobook. or in audiobook. Um, and so I've listened to about half of that. It is really funny. Like he's the humor in it, as he kind of reflects back on his childhood and such, is just really enjoyable. The first kind of part of it was more about him growing up, and then some of the earlier movies he had done. And now we're finally getting into the Harry Potter portion of the book and his life. So it's really enjoyable. Like I said, there's a lot of humor in there as he kind of laughs at himself. And then there's also some serious moments, like one of the guys that played as a stunt double for him and Daniel Radcliffe ended up getting really badly injured and paralyzed. And so there are, some more serious moments as well. But a lot of humor. It's a lot of fun to listen to. I do want to get the physical copy eventually because I learned it has pictures in it. And so listening to it via audio, yes, you get the experience of the narrator being the actor who wrote the book, but you're missing out on those pictures. So I do plan on getting the physical copy, and hopefully that one I can finish up this week. I'm planning on listening to it as I go to either the store or head down for my eye appointment, um, head in for my teeth cleaning, things like that. So I have like 3.5 hours left, I want to say. So I should be able to hopefully finish up that this week. The other book that I read, so Ace of Spades, Beyond the One, and then I read the next section of Duncan Wood by William Horwood. So I started this back in October, and I had tabbed it out, planning on reading, a section each day or whatever. Each section's only between like 40 and 50 pages, but this is a big book, and so it is kind of dense, and it takes a lot longer to read the sections than I had planned, and I had so many reads in October. So I got through the first two parts of the book because it has 5 parts, and so I read the third part this week, which was Bracken. And this book, so it's basically about the system of moles, okay? And the main characters are Bracken and Rebecca, and they kind of have a bigger destiny in the grand scheme of things. This book has made me cry so many times. Like, I did not expect it to be so well written, so emotional. My husband got this for me for my 25 Days of Bookmas last year as a joke because he saw the mole and he thought it was funny. And I was like, I'll probably actually like that because I like stories with animals, but wasn't expecting it to be so well written and like it really pulls you in. You're so invested in these lives of these moles. And like I said, I've cried. Like every section has made me cry at some point. And this last section, like I finished this last section about Bracken last night, and the emotions, like it put me through the ringer. I was crying. There was a lot happening, like one tragedy after another, and I'm just like, I can't handle this. And so yeah, I'm hoping to read a bit more of this today. There's 2 more sections, so um one's about 100 pages and the other's about 70 pages, so I'm hoping to finish this up today, but we shall see. I might just be able to read one section. I might just be able to read one part because the section I'm on, or the part I'm on, has 2 sections that I tabbed out. So we will see how that goes, and then the last part is just one I didn't tab it out at all. So we will see how it goes. But yeah, this one, if you like stories that have animals as main characters, like I don't even know what to classify this one. There's a certain like academic quality, um, because you have Boswell, who is from Uffington, and he's one of the scribe moles and such, and it's about this history of these moles. Um, yeah, so there's that kind of quality. There is a bit of a journey type quality as well. There's a lot of like violence and danger. It's just, this book is amazing. So if you like animal main characters, give this one a try. It is so well written. It has over 4 stars. It's it's part of a series, and they all have over 4 stars. So really, really good. Definitely give it a try if you like animal stories. So that's what I've read this past week. So as far as what I'm reading this week, like I said, I want to finish listening to Beyond the Wand. I want to finish reading Dunkton Wood. And then I want to get started on some of my ABC Author Challenge books because I want to finish them up this month. So the first one is The Lost Book of Moses by Shannon Tagay. And this one, I did kind of start a little bit last night. I just read a few pages because I needed a break from that one. Like, I mean, I literally read 3 pages, so barely started. All just kind of testing it out a little bit. And so yeah, I'm hoping to read this one. This one basically, you have in the summer of 1883, Moses Wilhelm Shapira, archaeological treasure hunter, inveterate social climber, and denizen of Jerusalem's bustling marketplace, arrived unannounced in London, claiming to have discovered the world's oldest Bible scroll. And then he gets denounced as a fraud, and then he ends up dead, and there's kind of a mystery around that. So I'm excited to finally read this one, see if I'll enjoy it. So far I like the writing style, just kind of testing the first couple pages. The writing style seems really good, so I think it'll be fine. And then where you need to do Exodus Revisited by Leon Uris. And so he wrote Exodus, which Exodus is the story of the greatest miracle of our times, the rebirth of a nation. It tells the story of Jews coming back after centuries of abuse, torture, and murder to carve an oasis in the sand with guts and with blood. Their story was a revelation to me as I discovered it in the farms and cities of Israel. These were Leon Uris's own words about Exodus. And now he returns to the people that inspired that novel. And there's all kinds of pictures and just little notes and such. So those were, I was supposed to read in October, didn't get to. So definitely want to get those done this week. And then the other ones, I want to continue. Another rollover from October is The Dance of the Gods by Nora Roberts. This is book 2 in the Circle trilogy. I read the first one for Halloween. Was hoping to read all of them, but I was kind of a little bit burnt out by that point. There's, it's a trilogy, so hoping to continue this one this week. These are easy reads. They're rereads for me, so I should be able to get to that one. Excuse me. The other two, I'm not sure if I'll have time for. But I'm really hoping to get to. The first one is Lessons from Lucy by Dave Barry. I had a plan for this for months now. This was gifted to me by Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading, and so it's been sitting waiting because I just haven't had time to work on the project that involves this. But I'm hoping this is a month, and I want to get to it right away. And so hoping to get to this towards the end of the week, and do that project. So is this one's basically Dave was trying to figure out how Lucy stayed so happy, and take kind of a page out of the dog's book to be happy as well. And then he, when he faces a family crisis, the lessons he learned from Lucy came just in time. So, really excited to read that one. And then the other one is one I hauled recently, and I just don't want to wait to read it. So, even though there's others I should prioritize over this is the one I want to read, and it's They're There by Tommy Orange. And so this is about 12 characters from Native communities all traveling to the big Oakland powwow and connected to one another in ways they may not realize. So they all have their different struggles and such. Um, and it says, together the chorus of voices tell of the plight of the urban Native American, grappling with a complex and painful history, with an inheritance of beauty and spirituality, with communion and sacrifice and heroism. Held as an instant classic, There is at once poignant and unflinching, utterly contemporary, and truly unforgettable. So yeah, just hauled this, and I'm really excited to read it. So, and I love the cover. Like, I just can't get over it. I'm so drawn to that. So that is the plan for this week, plus Beyond the Wand. So yeah, should be doable. Like I said, the biggest issue with this week is Dunkton Wood is just so dense and it takes a while to read, which is why I'm hoping just to knock it out today so it's done. And then the fact that I am quite busy this week as well. So, anyway, that is it. Don't forget to head down into the comments, guess the quote, what book it is. It's one of the books I talked about. And I'll leave hints, like I said, in the pinned comment in the reply section in case you need hints. But what book, what author, and if there is a specific character, leave that as well. And I will give you guys the answer in my next video. So make sure you have that bell notification push so you know when I upload. But that's it for now. I know this video is a little longer, combining the haul plus the update. But I'm going to go ahead and leave you here. Happy reading, everyone. Bye.